What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you another successful failure video. This one is going to be a special one for me. Going to hold a dear place in my heart because I'm going to show me as my Town Hall 10 failing a dip. Actually, it's not even a dip. It's a bully on a Town Hall 9. It's probably the second time it's happened to me this year in November. So, yeah, and I'll tell you why it fails too. It's so stupid on my part. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Looking at this, it's a 9.5, but I'm going to call this a 9. Mistake number one. First off, this should not fail. There's no excuse for this. I am, as Jordan from One Hive, I'm sorry, Douche would say, don't shoehorn an attack strategy onto a base. That's what we're watching, me shoehorning it on. I see this army has been cooked up because I was practicing on 10s with it, because I recently got level 4 baby dragons, and it was not the right attack strategy for this base, but I tried to make it the right attack strategy. So the takeaway is kind of taking a piece of my own medicine. Why do something that has the most risk? EQ fail. I try to recover by sending the BK to beat through it. There's mistake number one. I'm trying to salvage what I can. Lose the BK because now he's tanking for my golems. So he's out of the picture. The heal is late. The heal was actually for right now with that BK. I'm all discombobulated at this point, though. Was to sustain my BK, kind of like a max attack to get all the way through. And basically, I'm trying to get all 4 air defenses, or at least 3, with my kill squad. Baby dragons on the top are way too early. I pre-planned where I was going to skeleton out the air defense, and it was wasted. I knew that, again, I'm trying to shoehorn a skeleton onto an air defense strategy, which is also not smart. I knew that the BK covering the bottom right air defense, so I try to aggro the BK. He gets and the splash damage of the mortar, just so I can use the skeleton to remove the air defense, and my queen's already shooting it. So really, I should have adjusted on the fly, and I could have salvaged it by sending the BK up to the north to aggro the splash damage of the mortar, send the skeletons on the top air defense, and then send my baby dragons from the top, and I would have salvaged what I could. Such an ugly attack because it was the wrong attack. Never gonna happen again. So if you're a Town Hall 10, or any Town Hall level, don't do an attack strategy just because it looks pretty or because you're lazy. Like in my case, I was lazy, and it just was bad. And I'm only showing this because it was easily cleared by Duck right afterwards using a Goho, which it should have been, as it was a much better attack strategy than what I was trying to do. So shame on me. A lot of lessons learned on this for that failure. Let's go to another war, and let's look at... I want to talk about... Was it the last? It actually might have been the last war we were just on. Okay. Nostalgia. New to the clan. Really, really good. Let's look at what he decided to do on their number 1. So it's a teaser, and it's a 10.5. Max Town Hall 10D, though. He's going to basically ignore the bottom part because that's where they want you to enter from. And he wants to send his... if you go to ×2, he wants to send his bowlers, mass bowler army. He's very successful with this, even though he has heroes that are similar to mine. Jumps in, but then right here's the part that this is where the warden becomes OP, is that when your fragile bowlers are inside the Aurora, their 390 HPS becomes something along the ballparks of 540, because if you have a level 20 warden, because it gets increased by 50%, 50. And then we use the Eternal Tomb ability for that last 5 seconds, and then you can withstand all these 10 streams coming down, targeting majority of your bowlers, and watch how fast they get erased. If you were going to come straight down like this and take 2 Infernals on at the same time, One Infernal did enough work to his bowlers that the splash damage finished them off, even though he did successfully freeze the right Infernal and then eventually got the Town Hall. I know that he really expected to erase this core by coming through the top. But the other reason why, what you can gather from this is, you see these flanking defenses and splash defenses here. While Valkyries or bowlers, or if you're coming straight down from the top to enter this way and don't account for the left and right flanks, you're going to get flanked. Your army will get flanked. Your sweeper will push back. So it's just basically added risk. And then once you're done, you still have all this to deal with on the bottom. So good start to get it out. Scattered for me showed me what was not going to work. And I haven't hit a base like this in a long time. So the small adjustment that I did, just so you guys can see some things, lessons learned in motion, is we'll go to times 2 because I got other things to show you. This was again, I'm trying to aim for a safe 2 with a chance for 3. Easy trash on the bottom. My walk and my bowler, golem, BK, slight wizard combination, or my first 2 phases of the attack, their job is to get the entire bottom side. If you attack your entire main attacking, you don't, basically on teethers, you don't want to go this side. And I'm sure there's a different avenue here that I didn't look at, but you know, facing this kind of a defense with the royals that I have, this is just something that I do that gives my clan that all we need is the deuce at a high percent. So I had to pop the ability here because of that one loon, but that's okay. But this is the difference maker. So I think some people forget that that Valkyries are awesome wall breakers. So I don't need to bring any wall breakers here as long as I eliminate the trash or the excuses for them to go anywhere else but to hit this wall. Once they do hit the wall, they go through really fast through a Lego wall, especially max Valkyries. And then I need just one jump to get through here, and I'm observing the principle of only taking on one Infernal at a time. Not to mention, there's nothing that's going to be, quote, flanking me from the top, or that maybe the bottom. This guy might be, but then I expected this one to be dealing with my queen, and you'll see how I do that. So the bottom part is pretty much done. Valkyries eat through the wall, jump to get them through, rage to make sure I get the town hall, heal to sustain them, and they get the job done. So you can see the difference making on this. Kind of a flanking motion with your Valkyries. They're really useful if you're a new Town Hall 10 and functions like that. The Vabo or the Bova, whatever you want to call it. Valkyries and Vahos do work at Town Hall 10. So there's that. It was a high 80%. Aiming for a safe deuce with a chance for 3. Let's get out of this war, and then let's talk about some Town Hall. That's my baby in the morning. Let's just talk about current war, the war that just passed. Town Hall 9 and Hogs. So let's take a look at, where were we? I think it was not Coffee. Coffee ended up doing it. Number 9. All right, so you can see that he Pirate King already 3'd number 11. So not a knock to him, but there's a lot of lessons to be learned from this. First off, concentrated defense. Actually, I'm sorry, deployment side. Pause. See the queen's ring? If you send, whenever the queen is shallow like this, yes, you want to try to get, this is a prime suspect for sending a giant and 2 Valkyries just because of the concentrated DPS there. But distract her when she hops the wall and send 2 Valkyries and she's out of the picture. You can also use a baby dragon. But the other rule here, or lesson that can be learned here, is whenever you're deploying your kill squad, you never want to employ her, whenever possible, I should say. You don't want to deploy your golems directly into the teeth of a high level queen, comparatively, because this is a level 2 golem. So a level 16 queen, that's considered high. Plus it's also getting point defense from 1, 2, and 3, and the queen. So basically the queen's 4 point defenses, and the CC's coming. So RIP golem, that's going to be melted. And so the golem's time that it brings you is, what are you going to get the return on investment for? You probably won't get this first layer of defense. You're going to probably use all the time that it brings you to bring down this trash ring. That's not a good return on investment. So the takeaway is, whenever you're going to send your golem or kill squad, you don't want to send it directly into that teeth whenever possible. You want to take the long way around. So maybe putting the golem at this tip This tip over here and this tip over here, because it's just outside of the ring. Remember, the queen's going to hop into this compartment and this one. So I'd say, I mean, if you put a jump down right in this section, if both golems are here and you put a jump down here or wall breaker here and then bridge this gap here, because it's doable, she'll come and stand in here. Your queen will aggro them. Like whatever steps inside this compartment into the ring of the AQ, whether that's your BK, obviously he'll beat on a wall, but your wizards will shoot across and get her. If you have a if you have a bowlers, they will aggro her and the bounce will get her. It'll melt her face. Things like that, plus, especially if you bring a poison for her. But basically, look at which angle you're bringing. If that's not lucrative enough for you, you could put a jump right here, and that guarantees that you get her by putting your golems from this angle. But anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. Look how fast she gets melted, or the golem gets melted, and then ask yourself, what did that golem return on investment give me? Oh, gave me the queen is dead. CC is still up. Wall breaker fail, which is unfortunate. Golem's gone. I still have a first layer of defense there and a dragon in the air. I mean, you can make an argument that if the queen was down sooner, would have got it. Sure, but I mean, it's still increased risk that all this would not have worked out. So we go to, and it didn't. The other part on this is your hog deployment. So look how concentrated these defenses are. Clusters of defenses like this. Not a lot of spaces in between them. So it's hog heaven, which is very true. But you can't deploy them like you would on something that you have to be a little bit cautious of looking out and fishing for GBs, just to pinpoint out where your heals are going to be. Plus, he brought enough of them. He brought 3. This is a 2-finger drop kind of deal. You do not want to thin your herd on this at all. So there, right there. This is the mistake. Already thinning the herd. This is actually uncovered. You should have just sent 1 loon to take that out. It definitely would have made it there before it started taking fire from the archer tower, and it would have took it out. And that way your hogs probably would have gone to where you were aiming for. Nevertheless, though, it still was deployed wrong. You should, whenever you have clustered defenses like this, you want to 2-finger drop that bad boy. You want to send, and then the rest of them on the right. Just look. The concentrated Town Hall 9 max defense will make quick work of thin herds coming through them. It'll make quick work, especially after the buff to Wizard Towers and Expos, to their HPS. They'll stall out. So we'll get out of here. I'll show you another example. I think it was Illuminati. Cleanup attempt. Times 4. CC out. Same problem. Higher golems. So level 3 golems. And shattered. Queen is done. Nice funnel for him. They at least got that going on. Wall breakers into the teeth of splash damage, which was dangerous, but he got it. And right here, panic, second poison wasn't needed. Bowlers walk on him. And oh, what happened? What happened to his golems? Golems are done. And imagine if the bowlers walked on him, but what I'm going to get at is he does deploy his hogs the smart way. So he deploys 12 of his 20, actually all but 3. This is what you do want to do. Heal to keep them healthy as they go around, but the kill squad push should have accounted all the way from to about this line, just beyond the town hall. They're not there. They petered out. He does keep his hogs up, and he does keep 3 for the back end, which are smart fundamentals. But he did, because it's max Town Hall 9D and clustered defenses like that, the simple decision of where he entered from was the bane of this attack. So we'll get out of here, and it peters out at the end. Like I said, clustered point defense at max Town Hall 9. Even with Hoggies under heal does not make them invincible. We'll go down to number 9. It was cleared by Coffee. Watch the slight differences he does on this. So, number 1, he deals with the queen cheaply. The only reason why people were entering here was because the queen was here. Don't let that dictate your point of entry all by itself. Giant to distract. Baby dragon enrage. Goodbye queen. Troop space of 15 for a trade of a queen. Really smart, great illustration. Sends his golems from the complete opposite end of where everybody else was. One loon would have took care of that. So his split of golems is unfortunate. It's worth mentioning that he does have level 4. The last ones we saw were 2 and 3. But the other side is that he's entering towards the Tesla farm, because he's going to hit a jump over by the BK to make sure that the golems and kill squad, whatever's remaining of them, tank for that high concentrated DPS section. And that you can tell by the way that he put his jump. He's recovering on the fly, which was nice because of his golem. I think he totally forgot about that. Bomb tower structure. BK's ability, Queen is in there, looking good. And then look at his hog deployment on this. All but seven heal down early. Got another heal plan for him right here. He has 2 for the back end, but he keeps them all together and under heal quickly because a Tesla farm, max Town Hall 9 Expo, max point defenses, all clustered together, plus the Larrys on them, all coming at him. He needs to drop down that poison right now. There it is. Look how he takes care of his hogs. Everybody kept them under heal, but the herd stayed together. Poisons were down at the right spots. Better kill squad decision on the push, and made the base look silly comparatively to the other attack angles that we saw and hog deployments that we saw. So for those of you that are new to hitting max Town Hall 9s, and you still commonly see these bases because they're older bases, they're internet bases, and they're all over the place in certain war levels. Hopefully those tips were helpful for you. That'll do it for this successful failure video. I'm looking forward to the troll comments on me as a 10 failing on a 9. It was so embarrassing, but hey, I'm human and lessons learned, right? That's the whole reason for these kinds of video. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than a double, and now we'll check you next time.